Let me tell you a story. It's inspired by real events at the World Economic Forum in Davos, based on reports from Oxfam, WEF itself, and major international news agencies. Each year in January, world leaders, CEOs, hedge funds, and global policymakers gather in Davos. They talk about climate change, food security, the future of work, the global economy. But here's what's often missing: the voices of real people. The ones who farm, who labor, who live paycheck to paycheck. They don't get a seat. They don't get a mic. I've titled this story, somewhat playfully, "The Feast for Those Who Never Got to Eat." Davos, Switzerland, a snow-covered town deep in the Alps. The sky always grey, the air cuts like glass. And yet, thousands flock here not for skiing, not for sightseeing, but to decide the fate of the world. Inside, soundproof conference rooms, bulletproof glass, world leaders, central bankers, billionaires. They speak, they make deals. They sign memorandums. They adjust the flow of capital like chess pieces on a global board. Outside, protesters. Standing in the snow, silent, holding cardboard signs. One side drinks vintage Bordeaux, the other eats instant noodles under handmade scarves. Yet both sides talk about the future of humanity. Here's the catch. The ones inside that room, they won't feel the pain of the policies they write. They won't skip dinner when gas prices rise. They don't know what 3% inflation really means. But they speak for the world. And no one questions that. This year, one of the hot topics, food security. Tailored suits debating the meals of billions. Not one of them ever had to wonder if there'd be rice tomorrow for their kids. Not one. Outside the steel gates, past riot police, a man named Santiago, a farmer from Chile, held a sign. It read, "You talk about us, but you've never lived like us." He wasn't invited. No one handed him a mic, but his presence, it echoed like a long, low note through the snow. Every year, it's the same. Inside a feast where food is left untouched. Outside billions who've never sat at the table, that's the whole story. And I tell it not to judge, but to ask who gets to speak and who gets silenced. The Davos summit is a 5-star dinner held atop a frozen mountain. Inside, Michelin, star meals, $1 million wine. Outside, people shivering in sub-zero wind, while inside, they decide how to control food prices for the world's poor. Let that sink in. It's not because the poor are stupid. It's because they were never handed the microphone. They aren't ignorant. They're muted. And the world? It's shaped by the well-fed, who debate how much less others should be allowed to eat. Is that justice? Or monopoly over human fate? If the wealthy have the power to shape nations, who holds them accountable when they get it wrong? It's not that the poor are unworthy. It's that they were never allowed into the game. So I ask you, who deserves to decide the future? Those who create value, or those who simply accumulate the value others create? It's not about a bunch of poor people. It's about the billions of workers who keep this system alive. Here's the bigger question. Why are the decisions of the many made by the hands of so few? You're smart. But don't confuse power with justice. This isn't about rich or poor. It's about a broken balance of power. And when someone says, the rich must hold power, who else? The poor. I ask, who grows your food? Who builds your world? It's not stupidity that keeps them out. It's the structure of the game. And if you've listened this far, I know you're not afraid to question the system. Welcome to the Rich Frequency. This isn't a place for easy stories. It's a place where we flip the table. My name is Rich Carson, and I'll see you in the next time.